Hello and welcome to Create Crochet with me, Rebecca. In today's video we're going to be making one of these flat hearts. It's a granny stitch heart, and I'm done them in a rainbow. If you're going to do them in a rainbow, there's a really quick rhyme to remember. Richard, red, of, orange, York, yellow, gave, green, battle, blue, in, indigo, vein. So Richard of York gave battle in vain. Let's get to the what you need stage. So you're going to need a colour of your choice. I'm going to be doing it in this green and an outline colour, and as you can see from my hearts, I've done my outline colour in white. Now you'll need a crochet hook. I'm going to be using, you can't see it on this one because it's a well used hook, but this is a 3.5mm hook. Okay, so let's go. So the first thing we have to do is make a slip knot. Now we have a short end here and this long end which is attached to our ball of yarn. We're just going to make a loop, and with this long end put it through the loop and catch it up with our hook and pull on the short end to make our slip knot. If you pull on the knot, it will just reduce the size of this loop here. So now I'm going to zoom in so you can see where we're going from here. So we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and we're going to slip stitch to this first chain that we made, like so. This gap will now be called the chain 5 space. So from here we're going to chain 4 in total, but I'm going to take it stage by stage. So 1, 2. Now that chain 2 counts as our first double crochet. It just gives us the height of the next round, and then chain 2 more, which will give us eventually a chain 2 gap. So now we need to crochet into here, and what we're going to do is 3 double crochet. Now to do a double crochet, yarn over and into this space here, pull up a loop, yarn over, come through 2 and come through 2. Now what you'll notice is as I'm crocheting, this tail end here, this one here, I'm lying flat against my work so I don't have to weave in this end later on. So we do, this is number 2 and then 3. And then chain 2 and then chain 3 again, and what you're looking for at the end of this round is that you'll have a square, which is very strange considering we're making a heart, but it will all become crystal clear. Don't freak out on me. So I've done 3 double crochet and chain 2. And then again 3 double crochet and chain 2. Right, now have a look at your work, because if you pull at the chain 2 gaps you'll be able to see that that square is forming. So I've got 1, 2, 3. This will be our 4th one because we want the 4 corners. Now because this counted as our first double crochet, we now only need to make 2. So that's 1 and 2. And then we're going to slip stitch into that second chain. So that's 1 and 2 and into there. Now if we have a look, we have a square, still not yet a heart, which is very strange. I'm going to slip stitch into this excuse me, into this gap here. That's just to get our yarn and our hook into this 2 chain space. So chain 2, which again counts as our first double crochet, and then we're going to double crochet into this gap here. Chain 2 and 2 more double crochet back into the same place. So that's 1 and 2. Doing nothing with these excuse me, doing nothing with these. No, that's wrong. That's very wrong. We are going to do something with these. We're going to double crochet 3 in here. Sorry, my mistake. So 1, going to the next one for 2, and going to this last one here for 3, and then we need to create that corner again. So 2 double crochet into here, and then chain 2, and then 2 double crochet in here. I've got a real tickly cough, I'm really sorry. So that 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet gives us our corner, and then we need to do the 3 double crochet across here again. So that's 1 into here for 2, and then into this last one for 3, and then we create the corner again. So we're going to do that all the way around. So you create a corner, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochets in there, and then to your corner, and I will meet you back round here. So I've just got this last double crochet to do here, and that's this round finished. So I need to slip stitch into this stitch here. Still looks like a square. Please don't freak out on me. So what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch into this corner here, which again just gets our hook and our yarn into this 2 chain space here. So now we're going to step it up a gear and actually create our heart. So if you look at these stitches here, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches. Let me count those again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. We're going to triple crochet into the middle. So you can either count to the 4th or just go to the middle. Now to do a triple stitch, you wrap the yarn round your hook twice, you go to this middle stitch here and pull up a loop. So you should now have 4 loops on your hook. You're going to go yarn over and come through 2, yarn over, come through 2, yarn over and come through 2. Again, yarn over twice, into the exactly the same stitch where we've just been, and yarn over, come through 2, yarn over, come through 2, yarn over, come through 2. Now we've done that twice. You need to do it 11 times in total, so 9 more. Once you've done that, we'll come back together. So you should now have a square with a fan attached to it. This is where we're going to slip stitch into this section here. So we're going to anchor this fan down by slip stitching into here. Find the middle of this part of the square and do 11 double crochet again. So that's 1, 2, and off we go again, and I will come back to you once we've done the 11. So that's your second fan made with 11, and again, finding the corner of our square, all we're going to do is simply slip stitch into here, and with some scissors we're just going to cut off this tail end. So chain 1 first. Chain 1, always chain 1 after you slip stitch if you're about to finish your work, because I find that a slip stitch just doesn't hold that well. It does tend to unravel. And that is your heart made. Now we are going to do this border, so if you don't want to do your border, now is a good time to say thank you very much for watching. Please join us on Facebook. The address should now be on your screen. If not, stay tuned and we will do the white border. Thanks for staying with me. So this white yarn is exactly the same size as my green yarn, so I'm okay to get away with my 3.5mm hook. Now, as we started, we are going to make a slip knot. So again, to do that you wrap it round to make a loop and push the long piece through, and off we go. If we start down this side of the heart, it means it's a really good place to start. It also means that we can tuck our green end in as we go. So I'm going to start around about here. I'm not going to start it where this came out because I don't want to disrupt any part of this knot here. So I'm going to put my hook through, my naked hook straight through that stitch there, and I'm going to pick up my white, holding this tail section out of the way, and just bring it on and chain 1. Now we have this white end and this green end, and I am going to lay both across the top of my heart just so I don't have any of those ends to weave in later. Now we're going to do a single crochet in each of the stitches around, like so. So we're going to put our hook in, pull up a loop and bring it through. So there's 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and come through both into my next stitch, and we're just going to go all the way around. Now I am going to stay with you for a short while because I need to show you what to do at the tip of our heart. So just in and over. Now what I'm going to do is, these tail ends have been tucked in enough for me, so I'm just going to snip off these ends here like so and discard them. So you're going to go into the top of the stitch, come round and over. Actually, I might stay with you while we do the whole of this white. So now we've come to the tip of our heart. So we need to make sure that it is definitely the tip. So we're going to go in, a single crochet, chain 2, and go back in here into exactly the same place and do another single crochet, and off we go again. Now by chaining 2 it will give us that tip. There. Now we are going to have to do some 2 double crochets into the same stitch when it comes to round here, which is why I thought I'd stay with you. So we're just going to go all the way up to the top of our heart. Do make sure that you try and go into every single stitch of the previous round, otherwise it might try and gather it all together, which is quite important. I'm just going to let out some more yarn. So I've not counted any of these stitches here, but visually I can see that at some point I'm going to get to here, which is, if you look at our heart, let me make this a bit better so you can see. If you look at our heart, it's this section here. So if you want to count from your triple crochets, from the tip, from the middle section here, we're going to not put an increase in here, not put an increase in here, but for 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches you are. Does that make sense? So you're going to leave 3 triple crochets and we're going to do an increase in those 3 there. So I've got 2 more to do, and then I'll show you what I mean by an increase. Honestly, all will become clear. So 2 more. Right, so the increase. Now we want to keep the shape of our heart and not pull it and not gather it in any way. So to do an increase, we are increasing the amount of stitches, which will highlight the curve of the top of the heart. So you're going to do a single crochet in that stitch and then back into that same stitch to do another one. Exactly the same into this stitch here. We're going to put 2 single crochets, and by doing 2 stitches we are doing an increase. And then this one, 1 and 2. So you have these 3 triple crochets left to go into. However, we're only going to actually single crochet into 2. Then we're going to skip this one, and go into this one. Okay? So we're going to mirror what we did on this side. So that's 1 single crochet in here, 1 single crochet in there, and then for the next 3 we're going to do 2 single crochets in one place. That's 1 and 2, and then in this one for 1 and 2, and then into this one for 1 and 2, and then the rest is just as we were before, 1 single crochet in each of the previous rounds stitches. So now we've come back round to where we hooked onto the white yarn, and all we're going to do is slip stitch in, chain 1 to secure it, and then just snip this end off. So that is your heart lovingly made, and as I said, you can make it in as many different colours as you want. I'm just going to snip off this end here. We are going to have to weave in this end, but that's quite easy. And that is your heart made. Stay tuned and I'll show you how to weave in this end and how to attach your heart in a string. So to weave in your end, grab yourself a yarn needle, either metal or plastic, it's fine, it's entirely up to you, and just thread that loose on there, that loose end on there, like so. And what we're going to do is thread it through the white. Now if you look at your, if I remove my yarn needle, if you look at your yarn, it naturally wants to go this way, and that's the way that we're going to sew it in. So whichever way your yarn naturally wants to lie, either to the left or to the right, that's the way that you weave in your end. So all you do is you take it in and you just thread it through. It only requires a few stitches, not a lot. And just pull it through. And then just snip off that section there. There you go. Right, now I'm going to show you how to make a string of these. So it does involve chaining. Now when chaining is pulled, it does stretch. So if you have a plan of where you want to hang this, make sure you just reduce the amount of chains in your measurement. So slip knot again. And the first chaining that you want to do will obviously be tying it over or around wherever it is that you're going to be putting your row of hearts. So I'm just going to chain, 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 yarn over and come through, yarn over and come through. It really doesn't matter if it's neat or not, because this is literally going to be tied onto the place where you're going to be settling your hearts. So pretending I've done quite a lot, just do a few more just so you can see. Like so. One chain. Grabbing your heart, and again whichever order you want to, if you have a look at your heart, you can see it has this ridge here, this ridge here, and this ridge here. That's the only part that we're going to be catching up with this bit of the crochet. So if you just visually look at the top bit, and which is the most prominent section, so I'm going to go for that one there. So you've got one loop on your hook, you're going to push it into your work, yarn over and come through. Into the next one we're going to slip stitch, and then we're going to chain again. Do keep a count now of how many you're chaining right now. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, laying it across, couple more, and you'll see what I mean in a second when I say a couple more. Lay it over your work so that it touches the most prominent section of this part of the heart, and you're going to slip stitch and into the next one, slip stitch, and off you go to chain. And then we're going to attach, I'm going to attach one more just so you can see. So you can see that that is sticking up quite nicely, and you can see that it's a heart. If you want this section to stretch, do less chains. So how to do that again, let me just grab another one. Looking at the most prominent part of this part of the heart, hook in, yarn over and come through everything on your hook, chain the same amount as what you just did for the green. Actually, I'm going to do a few less just so you can see what it looks like when you don't do as many. Find the prominent section of the next top half of your heart and slip stitch 2. You only want to do 2 because you don't want your chain to go all the way around and for it to not sit right. And off you go chaining again. And that is how to attach your hearts onto a chain. So you can do that for all of your colours, and then when you hang it up it's all secure. Well, again, thank you very much for watching my video. My name's Rebecca and I'm from Create Crochet. As I said, we do have a Facebook page which you are more than welcome to go to. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, my lovelies. Bye.